are you doing?
Very good.
Very good. Praise God.
Praise God, yes. We did not pack coffee.
Well, you went to buy it or?
Good morning.
Are they like those?
I don't know if it's Hollis, you're going to test Friday.
Mr. Man.
Morning, how are you
Morning.
today, sir?
I'm great. I'm on the partner in crime. We're a partner in crime.
Well, they should be coming. I don't know if they're here.
I reminded her. So on my own, I want it close up. Come on, bring it.
Please to be reminded that this is a smoke-free building. Washrooms. The main washroom area for the auditorium where you are seated is located just to your left. Just walk through the corridor and turn left or right. There are signs to guide you above the door. Additional washrooms are located downstairs the building. Just go through the exit door on your right, turn left onto the corridor and proceed down the stairs. In case of a power failure, you must remain calm and wait for further instructions. In closing, I welcome you.
Remain standing for the prayer, please. And as we are about to pray, let us take a minute to give up special to various persons. First, to the members who are not here for various reasons, whether illness or some other form of distress. We pray that they will recover. We pray that God will be with them. We also pray, of course, for our nation. We continue to have struggles. We continue to see what's happening around us. So we pray for them. And I want to offer special prayer for the young people. Okay? We are embarking on a project, particularly with Pleasantville Primary School. And as we pray, I want us to give special thought to the young ones who have to go through so much in this way. And we want to say our top prayer. Everybody has access to one. Just share if you don't, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us together this day. Be with us as we come in fellowship to discuss, plan, and implement our projects and events. We thank you for allowing us to enjoy our golden years together as we ask you for health, strength, wisdom, peace, and a grateful heart so that we can assist our fellow man. At the end of our activities today, take us home safely to our loved ones, to continue to love and serve you. We praise and thank you. Amen. Could you have your seats, please? Yes, this morning, Mrs. Stacey Manning, thank you for being with us. And as we go through the day, we welcome other persons. I also want to welcome the new members. I don't know why the Vice Chairman will take that further, but I'm just extending right now the welcome to the new members. And of course to you, our membership, a very supportive membership. Thank you for being here. And we hope to have a very good meeting today. I now hand you over to our Vice Chairman, Mr. Carl Ryan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And could we have another round of applause for hard-working leader of this Purple Diamonds group. I'm going to say senior citizen, but I don't look so senior to me at all. Some kind of tablet or you take in, you know. You can't be looking good just so. Anyway, so far, are there any new members, persons who joined today? Could you just stand so we could? Oh boy, quite a lot. Could we give them a round of applause? Wow. Because of time constraints, we're not able to introduce you individually. But I just want to welcome you to this group, this very vibrant group. We socialize quite a lot. This is a place where we meet and greet and go out to attend events throughout the year. And so this is a good place for us to meet and to continue meeting. You know, who likes natural foods here? Let me see a show of hands. You know, I did this purposefully, and I could only see hands going up so. It's not true, person, it's not true. Continue eating your natural foods, alright? Don't be afraid. Alright? It's just a joke. Very interesting. So yes, welcome to the new members, and as we go along, you would learn our functions at Stevenson.
Good morning, members, and welcome to our meeting. The minutes of the last meeting held on the 7th of January reads as follows. The meeting of the above group was called to order by Vice Chairperson Mr. Carl Ryan at 10 a.m. at the Pleasantville Community Center with all executives present. The national anthem was sung and the tap prayer was said by all. The Vice Chairperson welcomed and thanked all members, which totaled 210, inclusive of 14 new members for their attendance. The meeting was on Thanksgiving nature, and members were asked to give thanks in whatever way, be it in prayer or song, which was a tremendous success. The minutes of December meeting were read, which were confirmed by Ms. Norma James and seconded by Ms. Patricia Hazelwood. The Treasurer read her report, which showed an interim figure carried forward to be $3,821. The Vice Chairperson introduced Dr. Pat Dong, the certified life coach personnel, who gave a lecture on wellness and empowerment. She advised members to ask themselves questions about their lives and seek to answer them in order to understand situations. This was a well-received and well-researched topic. Chairperson's report. The chairperson gave her blessings to the group for the new year and thanked members for the support and success given at the luncheon and other activities. She also gave a calendar of events for January to June. They are as follows. January, Friday 17th, visit to Lobos. Saturday 25th, visit to Rancho Tobago Agricultural Estate. February, Tuesday 4th, monthly meeting. Sunday 9th, special show for Purple Diamonds and Friends at Kaiso Showcase Calypso 10 at Palms Club San Fernando at 3 p.m. 2 persons on 1 ticket, $150, 1 person, $100. Part proceeds go to Purple Diamonds. Friday 14th, fundraiser curfew at 11:30 a.m. Veggie, $40, chicken, $50, goat, $60. Orders and payments to be done at February meeting. Friday 21st to Wednesday 25th, Carnival Getaway to St. Lucia. March, Tuesday 3rd, monthly meeting. Saturday 28th, visit to Green Market, Santa Cruz and La Vega Estate. April, Tuesday 7th, monthly meeting. Easter Fair to be decided, Saturday 25th, Matura, Nature Park. May, Tuesday 5th, the monthly meeting, Panama or Curacao trip to be decided. June, the AGM and election. Please note there is possibility of changes. Committee reports. The coordinators of 3 committees gave an update on what is expected from the members of the various groups. They were 1. Education, which is headed by Vice Chairperson Mr. Carl Ryan, who asked that members have an input by suggesting topics of interest to be discussed at meetings. They can even suggest places of interest. 2. The Data Skills Bank, headed by Treasurer Ms. Ermin McKenzie, informed members that there will be forms on which members will to list their skills and talents that can be used within the group. 3. For the Social Outreach, which is headed by Trustee Ms. Leonard Daly. She spoke about reaching out to needy cases in the community in need of some kind of support. So far, the President Government Primary School has been identified, and a visit was made there. A meeting with the principal is to be scheduled to list the needs of the school. Ms. Wendy Simmons gave a short but a very interesting presentation on a head product. Other matters, the manager of the Pleasantville Community Center extended greetings to the Purple Diamonds group and wished them well for the new year. She thanked the current executive members for a job well done for the past year and a half. Member Mr. Ainsley Drago Myers gave a testimony of recovery from his serious illness and thanked everyone for the support meted out to him at that time. He then rendered a song of praise to the membership. 2 new courses were introduced to members, which are jewelry on Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m., Tai Chi on Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. No further business. Meeting ended at 12:50 p.m. with a prayer by the chairperson, respectfully submitted by Maureen Taylor Stevenson, Secretary. Any omissions or corrections? Noted. Can someone confirm the minutes, please? A seconder, please. Okay, thanks.
Can we have some claps applause for this particular place. First assurance, they say the coronavirus will not last long because it's made in China. That's very reassuring, isn't it? I told a lot of things that serious and everybody laughing. Oh boy. Ms. Mackenzie, are you ready? Okay, now we have the financial report being read by our treasurer, Ms. Mackenzie. All you're smiling, so what happened? Anyway, I'd like to introduce a very hard-working leader, chair of this very vibrant organization, Ms. Norma Ocho, to give you an address. Mrs. Ocho.
Saying hello again. This is going to be part address, and as we go along we'll get more because we've got some stuff happening during the course of the program. So as usual, I'll just give parts, and during the course of the meeting we'll get more and more information. First, I want to thank persons for the January meeting. That was our Thanksgiving meeting. We asked members to bring each centuries in true Thanksgiving style, and you certainly did that. Thank you so much for your overwhelming support with your refreshments. Also at our meeting, we had persons again, it was a members meeting, and we asked persons to come up and pray, etc. And the persons who did, and I know even though all of you couldn't come up within your seats saying your silent prayers, we want to thank those who came up and who volunteered and who gave prayers. We have El Dragon, he's here, and of course his testimony was wonderful. So we thank them also. The visits for January so far, they were successful in the sense that we went to the logos. Two maxis went to the logos, and it's very crowded, okay, extremely crowded, but we did manage to have a good visit there. And then in Rancho Quemado, we had three maxis, okay, three maxis to Rancho Quemado. Again, that was a very good visit to the estate. This is our third or fourth visit, and as usual, they were very welcoming. By the way, I have some bottles of honey for persons who ordered, about 2 persons who did not collect the honey. So you need to see me before you leave, please. Now I need to see 3 persons, but I'd like to end part 1 of my talk. I want to see 3 members. If you not busy, come up here quickly, please. Gemma Scarrett, Gemma, Petra, Maria Saunders, could you come, please? We have some special ladies in the house. Come, ladies. There's Gemma and Petra and Maria. Now I know I saw Gemma, and you know she's there. There's Maria. Why are these stars so reluctant to come up? I don't understand. Where's Gemma? Ah, good. Now I don't know. I know you've been reading on WhatsApp, so you know what these ladies are about. Right? And if you're not sure, let me tell you, these seniors pay panorama. Right? And you know what, well, you should know that you've seen it, the kind of hours of practice, the kinds of devotion you have to go through, the kind of time you give up, right? And these ladies represented well, and they are in the finals, semi-finals. Okay, so I'm predicting the semi-finals. So they continue again, right? And for those who, the new members particularly, the pan side. In fact, I'll let Petra tell you about it, how we when we practice, etc.
We practice on Saturdays at San City Panya. That is as you're going into the pool by St. Michael's. Presentation pool is a little panyard, but we practice there on Saturdays from 9 to 11. Fee is $40 for the session, but right now we are closed because we are practicing. So, no practice. So most likely, well, you have to play for semi-final. Once we get in the final, more practice again. So keep your fingers crossed, pray first that we get through. So most likely, or the name is Sun City Steel Symphony. Look out for us. Led by the leader, arranger is Mr. Aquel Arendel. He also tutors primary schools down Moruga. So one of the primary schools he tutored came third in the primary schools competition. So anyway, we are membership, looking for membership. So come and play, so maybe next time you play.
Oh, I heard that, Patty. Yeah, I have to say that. When it increases, Purple Diamonds will have their own steel band. And we look forward to that. So again, ladies, congratulations. Keep going, drink however the nutriment and whatever. When you're practicing Saturday, Friday, Monday, every day, starting tonight. Yes, you're going to need all the energy, etc. Thank you so much. Okay, and as I said, we sticking to our time frame, and now we have a very special speaker. I'm going to let Mr. Ryan tell you all about her, because there's a lot about her.
Thank you, Madam Chair. She talking like the winning panorama, you know. Maybe you just don't know. Just give the judges a little kickback and you're good to go. Okay, the order of our main activities, we'll be having a presentation or key presentation by Mrs. Hazel Manning. Then we'll be having entertainment by no other than RAS Commander, and a presentation on safety awareness by yours truly, and updates on the committees. I remember last month I suggested that members, submit a list of topics they would like to be informed on, and we would try to contact necessary presenters who could deliver on those topics. So I'm looking forward to many, many lists of various topics that we could select from. Our featured speaker is Mrs. Hazel Manning. Welcome, Mrs. Manning. Ms. Manning has over 40 years experience in program planning and management, working as a senior administrator and representative in local, regional, and international arenas. Mrs. Manning was appointed Senator for the government of Trinidad and Tobago in 2001 and subsequently served as Minister of Education 2002 to 2007 and Minister of Local Government 2007 to 2010. her tenure as Minister of Education, Morai Caribbean Limited poll voted the Ministry of Education as the most productive and influential. During that period, she led the charge to transform and modernize the education system. Significant changes were carried out in the early childhood care and education sector, where a department was established. Curriculum development and construction started to build over 600 units. Trinidad, so big, boy? To achieve universal ECCE. It's quite lengthy information here, so I'll just give you a summary. Otherwise, I'll be here all day. As the Minister of Local Government, she championed the development of regional spatial plans for 14 municipal corporations, local government reforms, certification of skilled workers, the establishment of the facility of local government at the University of the West Indies, and the award of scholarships for training to build capacity and capability. As wife of the former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Mrs. Manning was founder of the Self-Esteem Foundation, which raised awareness about issues associated with self-worth among the country's youths. Hazel Manning has a Bachelor in Social Sciences from the University of the West Indies, postgraduate diploma in administration from the University of the West Indies, and a certificate in business administration from the University of Reading. I know where that is.
I too. Me too.
In the UK. At present, she is pursuing a certificate in transformational leadership to achieve the SDGs in developing states at the UWI Open School. Hazel Manning is an executive member of Trinidad and Tobago's Winners Toastmasters Club. Anybody know where that is? What's that? Sound like a lot of drinking, but let me carry on quietly. Hazel Manning is an executive member of the Trinidad and Tobago Winners Toasters Club, from which she has achieved many accolades. I present to you Mrs. Hazel Manning.
Thank you very much to our Secretary, Vice President. I want to acknowledge the President, Mrs. Norma George Oka, Ocho, I got all the names wrong, Ocho. And I want to really acknowledge the hard work of the executive and all of you members who are here today. I'm really impressed when she says to me, 200 people. I said, I doubt even 100 would come. Not only am I seeing 200, I'm seeing people standing in the back. Means that we have a full house. was asked to speak about living purposely through our golden years. And so I want to start by asking you, and that's why I'm down here, it's too far up there. And I want to start by asking you, what is your purpose as we live through our golden years? And I have been hearing talking all morning. I am not talking here by myself. I want you to talk. What is your purpose? Why are you here? What are you doing here? What is your purpose? Don't rush. You're not moving on, you know. Because you have to have a purpose. There's nobody brave. I've got one brave lady.
Well, I would say that it's a real blessing to live to the age we are at right now, because, I mean, I have seen colleagues who have passed soon after retirement, so I really do have a very deep appreciation for being alive. So I believe in being alive that I have a purpose. What I see my purpose as being is to impact on lives that I interact with on an everyday basis, apart from family, you know, family members, also people I meet from day to day, because we do have our groups in TAP, our you know, clubs and stuff like that. And of course, most of us may belong to some church organizations. So, you know, in interacting with these individuals, I could see impacting on people's lives is an important part of my existence. And I also firmly believe in enjoying the journey. And I'm surely enjoying the journey with TAP.
Thank you very much. You heard what she said. Her purpose, and I'm just proceeding here, is to add value to all those she comes in contact with. Whether it is in TAP, whether it is a church, whether it's a family, she's adding value. And she went on to say a very important thing, and we enjoy the journey. She's enjoying the journey. She's not only adding value, she's enjoying the journey. How many of us can say what she bravely got up and said, and courage that she had to get up and say this? How many of us? And it is important that we understand. I was really very delighted to get this invitation. And I think I'm going to join TAP. And I'll tell you why I'm going to join TAP. You see, I'm sure most of you in this room planned for your retirement. You knew that retirement was coming, not me. One day I was saving the world, I was saving Trinidad and Tobago, I was busy. And then the next day, elections were called. And then a few weeks after, I was retired. Not angry, not bitter, but the planning, the pre-planning that went into retirement, I'm sure that you did, I didn't do. And therefore, I didn't have that time to plan for the happiness, the comfort that our speaker just spoke about. That putting in place a system for the golden years. And again I ask, and I want you to keep thinking through, as I speak, what is your purpose, or what is our purpose as we live through these golden years? Because at the end, I'm going to come back to ask you, what is your purpose? You know, the Oxford Dictionary spoke about purpose being an object to be attained, a thing intended, all in keeping with man's nature. And the belief is that man's nature, by nature, we want to achieve, we want to build, we want to succeed. Not one of us want to live on faith. That's man's nature, to do things well and to succeed. So therefore, to do that, we normally would have goals in place. And again, I'm asking more questions. What are the goals that are important to us? How many of you have goals? What are your goals? How many of you have personal security goals? That your personal development really is very important. How many of you? And you know why it's important that I do this? Because we spend so much time looking after others that we don't spend time looking after us. And the fact that no hands are going up concern me. Not so much I don't think that you don't want to talk. I'm not even asking you to talk here, I'm asking you to raise a hand. It's a sense of, do you have goals? Do you really look after yourself? There's someone down there.
Who can't? You need a go for.
Good morning to everyone. I am in agreement that we must have personal goals. And sometimes we think that we have everything in order, and then, as Mrs. Manning said, you got up one morning and you realize, well, I'm retired. And when you sit back and you look at your life, sometimes you realize you catered for everybody but yourself. My purpose really is to make sure that I fulfill the purpose God has for me in my life. And we sometimes live and we fail to realize that we are all here for purpose. God has given us a purpose. We need to know it and we need to fulfill it. So my main goal, other than taking care of myself, is that when I die, I shall die empty. I would have fulfilled my purpose and did what I was called here to do.
Thank you very much. So there's one person with personal goals. Do we have financial security goals? And I want to say to you as retirees, I'm sure you all do, because we retire with a particular figure and the cost of living keeps going up. So that must be a concern for us. Is your goal to ensure that you enjoy life? Because that's what we heard from our first speaker. And that's an important goal to have. Is it to harness the creative forces within our lives? Is it to fulfill our dreams? And that's what we heard from the other speaker. What are our goals? And I'm saying to you, not until we are clear that we have a purpose, not until we are clear that we know what our goals are, that we will consider what success is. And so I ask, what does success look like for you? That is success. And if you dream what success looks like, my question again is, have you been successful? 60, 70, 80, any 90s in here? What have you been successful? What does success look like for you? You know, behavioral scientists say to us that man's secret for success is doing things failures do not like to do. Doing things failures do not like to do. And that enthusiasm, passion, moral purpose, they are all necessary to being successful. You must have a passion about something. You can't go through life beige. They've also said that the person who lacks passion, the person who lacks enthusiasm, usually lacks confidence and is easily discouraged. You ever speak to someone who life we've got to be passionate about something. Because if we're negative, if we don't have that passion, we're in trouble. And you know what is important? That we tend to think about whatever we tend to think about most of the time. That's who we are. That's who we are. And so I ask you again, what is your purpose? What is your passion? And I really want you to go deep within, to be able to identify that purpose and that passion. Let's examine how successful we have been in these our golden years. Do you know why they call it the golden years? The golden years, according to the Webster Dictionary, is the advanced years in our lifetime. These last few years in our lifetime. And this was coined sometime in 1959 when there was a campaign for us senior citizens. And they referred to the time between retirement and the beginning of that time in our life when physically, when emotionally, when our cognition becomes limited. There's going to become a time when we are going to really feel the slowdown. You see, in the first 10 years, 60, 70, maybe for some of us 80, things would be good enough. But you see, as we get older and older, the deterioration, we will feel the deterioration of the body. And this period that we're going through called the golden years is normally referred to as our second childhood. And you know what they say about us? That we are too old to work, but we are too young to die. And that's how I feel. Sometimes 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I still have on my pajamas. Too old to work. Crawling out of bed, reading. Doing what I want to do. But you know something? I'm too young to die. So how many of us are really living these 20 years? How many of us are really living? Because we really feel that there's worth the living. I know I am. What is your purpose as you live through these golden years? And I really want you to think deep. This is really for you to reflect. As as former workers, we become eligible for pension benefits. We work and we have a pension at the end of time. Some of us get our benefits early because maybe due to sickness, due to personal reasons, due to accidents. And it may sound strange when we talk about the fact that we stop employment completely at some point in time. We take it for granted. But do you know that there was a time when man worked until death? In the 1800s, in the 1900s, sometimes they wouldn't even live past 50 years. There was a time where a lot of people died at age 50, before they even got to 50, because of poor health, because life expectancy was low, because there was no support outside the employment. Some of them had to, the farmers especially, had to just work until death. There was no choice. They went on until they could perform no more. And it was not until the 19th century, the early 20th century, that Germany was the first country to pass legislation to end the working life of employees and to provide pension. So pension is a really very new thing. We complain about how much pension we get in, we're not getting enough. But there was a time when it didn't even exist. And that is just recently. In 1889, the first law was passed. But in many countries today, retirement is a right. It is a right. It is a right. The government has got to put things in place for retirement. The companies, you yourself, you've got to put things in place for retirement. And therefore, because it is a right, because we demand it, again I come back to the question, what is your purpose? You've won your right. How are you going to use it? What gives you happiness and what gives you comfort in retirement? What gives you peace of mind in these golden years? That those who work for retirement, while still working, they have a better chance for this if they plan beforehand. There are some of us who don't plan at all for retirement. But the research has shown that those who plan, they live a more comfortable life when they retire. I'll tell you what has happened in Trinidad and Tobago, around the world. The health services have improved. You may not agree with that, you still complain, but I keep saying go back to 1900, go back to 1800, we are doing much better. The health services have improved so considerably that we are living maybe 20 years more than they did. 30 years more than those people who lived there in 1800 and 1900. It is also said that because we are healthier at this age, that we can do more. It is also said because we earn more money at this age, at pension, that we can do more. And the research has said that if our pension is 80% of what our salary was, that we'll be more comfortable. And those are things we can work out, and those are things we can plan for before we get there. And because of improved health services, because life is better for us, we have a right to ensure that we have planned for this period in our life. And I want to give you some statistics what's happening now in Japan. According to the World Health Organization, in 2015, Japan led the world in life expectancy. The average citizens were expected to live to 83.8 years, 84 years. The average person in Japan is expected to live until age 84. The men live until they're 80, and the women until they're 86. Of course, there are many people in Japan who live above this age. In Trinidad and Tobago, the life expectancy for the same period, men live until 71 years of age. The life expectancy, the average life expectancy is 71 years of age. Men live until they are 68, and the women live until they are 75. A total figure of 12 years less than what's happening in Japan. So therefore, looking at those figures that we got from the World Health, if we retire at an age of 60, it means that in Japan, we will have 23 to 24 years to live. It means that in Trinidad, we have 11 years to live. And I heard your Vice President asking about natural foods. And I really think he's saying we need to look at what we eat and how we live in this period of time. How do we do like the Japanese and live a little bit longer? And what is also very important is the implications, how great the implications are for the statistics that I've just called out. It means that there are many more women, and I'm looking at the room, and I'm saying to you that there are many more women in the world, and in Trinidad and Tobago, far outliving the men. Research has got to be done as to why. Some people feel that the men have a stressful life. I love the reaction. I love the reaction. Maybe that's a feeling from the men themselves. But that's a feeling. But whatever the reason is, this room tells us what's happening. Secondly, it also speaks to the fact that geriatric studies need to be done. At one stage, people died at age 50. The fact that you're living until 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, a lot of the times, doctors can't tell you what's wrong with you. Cancer is a new thing for them. As the older you get, the possibility of dying of cancer is even greater. The older you become, there are possibilities that we don't know, we haven't done research to. A doctor said to me, menopause, after menopause is a brand new thing on the market. So much so that doctors do not know how to treat you after your menopausal time. And the same with men. Because as you start deteriorating, it is sometimes difficult to identify how to deal with the fact that the body is deteriorating so fast. A whole new, brand new studies have to be put in place for us to understand how we treat with ourselves during the golden age. But that's another conversation for another meeting. Our meeting here is how happy are we? How purposeful are we? How are we enjoying these last few years? How could we, when the cost of living keeps rising? How feasible is it to be comfortable, especially if you do not have an added income and another job? If you do not have supporting children and family, because they themselves have their own financial struggles. If you do not have a nest egg to provide investments, to provide funding for you, how feasible is living comfortably and happy when you don't have support? What about security? What about women? There's now a phenomenon, there's now a study taking place in America of women who live alone. And there's a high percentage of women who live alone because their husbands have died, because the others who they were minding have left home, because their older siblings and parents have died, and because they've got golden years to live. How do we do that? Where is that peace of mind and that happiness and comfort coming from when the roof starts to leak and the appliance needs repairing? What about the general routine maintenance? Do you have enough money, that 80% that they said that we should have, 80% of our salary? Do we have enough money so that you could travel, go visit a friend, a family member abroad? Could you afford an annual cruise to a fairy tale destination? Could you change your car? Could you buy a few items of clothes, carnival coming up, you go to a fete or two? And these are serious, really serious problems. Am I talking the truth? How many of us here live alone? You know, it is really, really a challenge. And in spite of all of this, we are being asked to find a purpose, to find comfort, to find peace of mind, to find happiness, to find passion, to find purpose. How could we do that in our golden age? According to our life expectancy figures for Trinidad and Tobago, I am 8 years into that journey, and I have 6 more years to go. But believe you me, I have a purpose. First of all, I have started to embrace the Japanese way. I'm watching everything I eat. No more sugar and oil. I'm walking every day, I'm exercising. I'm a proud 70-year-old. You see, I intend to become 84. The Japanese hit it at 84, and even beyond. And as I said to you before, the timing of my retirement was unplanned. So I had to dive in there almost immediately and begin to make changes. I have a passion. I have a purpose. I began to fall in love with me. You see, I realized that the way I love me will be the way that the world will love me. Therefore, I love real good. And in doing that, I found my purpose. It has brought me maximum happiness. It has exposed me to a transformative learning. It has taken me outside of my comfort zone. It has encouraged me to solve problems. Doesn't mean that I don't have problems, you know. I must have more problems than all of you here. Doesn't mean that I don't have problems. But it has encouraged me to face my problems, solve my problems, fill my purpose, produce a life statement with all its vulnerabilities and openness and honesty. I have challenges, I have purpose, and I'm moving forward. Suddenly what others thought of me didn't matter. Didn't matter one bit, because my purpose was clear, my goals were clear, my focus was internal, my mood shifted, and I am more confident, more self-centered, more powerful in guiding my destiny. And as I grew in one area of my life, I grew in other areas of my life. And if I had known this long ago, I would have retired long ago. Because research has said that when you give up your self-interest, goals, and when you take on contributing goals, you function differently. And as my friend said here, when you start adding value to those around you, you grow differently. Everything changes. Thought processes change. Learning accelerates, and you grow continuously. So, both you and I are designed to live purpose-driven lives. We have been shaped by good, and we have been shaped by bad experiences. And these experiences are there to help us, to teach us about ourselves. And if we examine our reactions to the good and to the bad experiences, we'll be able to determine what our purpose is. Every one of us in this room can clarify the purpose in your life. We can find the key to open the door of opportunity. What's on your list of opportunities? Why are we here? What are we doing? Are we happy? Will we change anything? You know, there's a famous quotation that says, God is still writing our story. Quit trying to steal the pen. Trust the author. So, let's start writing our life plans. Because now I'm going to listen to you. I've just shared my purpose with you. I want you to share your purpose with me. I want you to answer 5 questions. And since I'm not seeing many people with pens and paper, I want you to be loud and shout it out. And the 5 questions are, who are you? What do you do? Who do you do it for? What do they need or want? What did they get out of it? And how have they changed? So let's go again. Who are you? Give me your first name. Who are you? You have to shout. I'm not hearing, man. Give me your first name. Who are you? Great. What do you do? And I want you to tell me exactly what you do. The one thing that you feel qualified to do. The significant thing that you feel qualified to do. What is that thing? What do you do? I didn't hear that, man. What do you Going down again. I want you to tell me who you do it for. And I want you to have a picture of that person in your mind. Who do you do it for? And I want you to tell me, what do they need or what do they want? The person you're doing it for, what are their needs? What do they need? What do they want? Shout it out. I like that. And my final question is, what did they get out of it? And how have they changed? Shout it out. Come on. Tell me, come on, let's do it again. Because you're writing what you realize that you don't realize you're doing. You're finding out your purpose. So if you get involved in this, at the end of the day, you may have a clear sense, like I did, of what your purpose is. So who are you? I'm not hearing. And what do you do? I'm only hearing this side. What do you do? What do you do? Very good. And who do you do it for? And what do they need or want? What did they get out of it, and how have they changed? Did that make sense to you? Are you having a sense of what your purpose is? So that when someone comes up to you and asks you, what do you do? Like I do, I say I get involved in doing workshops, in going out there to add value to people, to make sure that people understand that they've got a purpose in this life, to wake them up so that they know, in this particular instance, that they can live their golden years purposefully, happy and comfortable. Because the most successful people on earth are people who give. Of the 5 questions you have answered, only 2 were about you. Only 2 were about you, who you were, and what you do. The other 3 questions were about how you serve others. And the thinking is that if you're good at serving others, you have a purpose in life that makes you comfortable, that makes you happy. When you spend time looking at you all the time, it could be a little bit sad. So when we keep on developing our list of opportunities, we will feel in control. I want to say to you, as I end, let's keep looking after our health. Let's work to achieve a minimum life expectancy of 28 more years and more. Let's try to outdo Japan. And then we can bring this attitude of self-empowerment and adding value to others into retirement, and then the sky will be the limit. And if I can do it, you can do it too. Don't quit. You can. It's going to be difficult. It's a difficult job. But you can succeed whatever your goals are, whatever your purpose is. The journey will be difficult. Do not give up. You see, your legacy is very important. What it is you want to leave when you die and go, that's important. And you need to know that, what you want to leave. You need to know who you want to leave it with. Who you're going to pass all these wonderful values and ideas, who you're going to pass them on to. And how it would affect those who you're going to talk to, who you're going to give and add to. Let's commit. Let's hand over the baton with pride and with purpose. And I want to end by one of my favorite authors, Elton Trueblood. He said, "We have made at least a start in discovering the meaning in human life when we plant shade trees under which we know full well we will never sit." God bless you.
Excitement, you know. I just want to thank, but before I thank, I just want to share something with you, a little bit of personal history. Now, many, many years ago, Mrs. Manning may not remember it. She was Minister of Education then. Yes. I was in Tobago, and I met her for the first time. She made a brief stop at the school. It was Mason Hall Secondary School, and I met her. And what came out from that meeting, that short visit, that here was a lady, capital L, a lady of class. She was so confident, so self-assured, so very, very genuine about her interest in education. And I don't care who doubts it, as far as I am concerned, Mrs. Manning has been the best Minister of Education ever. So thank you so very much. And just a token of our appreciation. Okay, so we'd like to give you this, and there's a little special thing that was sent this morning. It's the Obi Constance. He's doing some work on Calypso and research, and you also sent that to me. Thank you so much, Mrs.
Come on, let's hear it again from Mrs. Manning. The part that interests me most is when Mrs. Manning asks, "Who are you?" I hear somebody say, "Purple diamonds." And she made a mistake and asked, "What do you do?" We just go on the logos. I really can't help myself. I have to stop there. Although we'll get the rest next week. I hear you, but oh my gosh. But seriously, very pertinent question. Self-searching question. And I hope this presentation leaves such an impact on you that you would do serious self-reflection. It is so, so important. We are waiting on the entertainment bit.
Okay, let me just say a little bit about RAS Commander, who's coming to entertain us. Steve Pascal, he's the National Public Relations Officer of TUCO, the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Calypsonian Organization. Oh my God, right? He's the PRO. He's also chairman of TUCO South Central Zone. RAS Commander has been singing for 31 years. He has received many awards, including from San Fernando Business Association, UB, San Fernando Creative Arts. He's a well-grounded citizen. He loves Trinidad and Tobago with a passion. He loves to sing, but his first love is agriculture. And a show, and of course, our show that we are going to, and I hope you're going to support it well, on Sunday at 3 o'clock, 150 for 2 persons, 100 for 1 person. Ras Commander has kindly organized that specially for TAP members, so that we can go early, enjoy a good show, leave early, and I really want to thank him for organizing that. We did it last year, it was very good, we're doing it again this year. So before you leave, get your tickets for the Calypso show. Are you ready, sir? So ladies and gentlemen, I have on stage now Ras Commander Steve Pascal, entertainer.
A special good morning to people over 50, all right? Nice. What play? Hey, the whole pussy here, boy. It's everybody in I want to say, I just here simply to encourage you guys to support the Calypso show this Sunday. It's a collaboration with Tupo and TAP. It's a sort of mini fundraiser because you'll be getting something back, you know, but more importantly, you guys need to support Calypso, because Calypso is the music of Trinidad and Tobago that is being given total disrespect on 38 radio stations. There's only one radio station that plays exclusively. Come here, yes, sir. I had to tell any Philippine fans here. You know, before I perform, I want to tell you a little story. Any police officers here? Or former police officers? Well, there was a certain police officer many years ago, well before they decriminalized the marijuana. He heard that my uncle, Cephas, was planting marijuana. Now my uncle used to have different plots of land. Right? So when he reached, he said, Cephas, I'm here to search your land for marijuana. Uncle tell him, they could search that plot and that plot, but they search that plot. He take out his thing. He says, see this badge? This allows me the opportunity to search and do what I want. Cephas say, I'm begging you, officer, search that plot and that plot, but not
that plot.
Nice. He said, I tell you, this badge, it might be Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. This badge give me authority to search where I want. Uncle say, I talked to you already, but do what you want. Cephas, leave the 2 plots there, you go on day. The police officer, so the police, he go on in, but little did he know that uncle did know by a dread bull that was killing people in Spain. They got matador, wife, child, and everything. Unfortunately, that the bull saw the police officer in a red top. So as the police officer ran foot inside the plot, the bull ran behind him, boy. He started going, oh God, Cephas! Stop the bull, stop the bull! Cephas said, show him your badge! Show him your badge! Nice, so really know. What's it? I got you in you, that's what's important. Hey! This is a nation building song I did many years ago, and the honorable Jane Williams it back. So I'm going to start my coming presentation. I must show you to presentation today. Good morning, Mrs. Manning. Long time no see. You want to leave, you can't stay in the water. There's too much of crime committing. Every day's a murder. But where do you go? Everywhere is the same thing. Remember, if you not go down the rich, that we are living. The freedom to be taken off the ground. We'll ask them people up to the sun. Anywhere you go and destroy your mind. So I am leaving my beautiful island. Trinidad is mine. Trinidad is yours too. Trinidad is all I need. Trinidad is where I want to live. Trinidad is mine. Trinidad is yours too. Trinidad is land in my water space. Or the Emperor Valley too. Let it clean the church we dry. Two by system we sky high. If we have to fix this country, I say, we are leaving to go. I am leaving. I am leaving. I want equal rights and justice for all. So I am leaving this land at all. I am leaving. Leaving. I am leaving. I am leaving. Good Lord. I am leaving the land at all. That is nation building. True nation building. You know these days the criminal situation have us scared. And many of us feel like we go to our next country and live. But trust me, there's no place away like GMC. Trust me. Go out there. We sympathize each other regularly. But to recognize whenever that we who destroy GMC is we who fail to take people power. So if we don't like the truth, then we can vote in another. Remember the people is government all the time. Not just African ties in the parliament. But that's all that. We have the greatest democracy. So I am leaving at all. I am leaving my beautiful country. Trinidad is mine. Trinidad is yours too. Trinidad is land enough to play with. I pick 4 or I pick 2. Trinidad is mine. Trinidad is yours too. Trinidad is reaching down at the boots. Also playing text I do. So who wants to go restart? I say to play the match. If you start to put your foot in the pass, give a room and a shake the last. I am leaving. I am leaving. I want equal rights and justice for all. So I am leaving the land at all. I am leaving. I am leaving. I am leaving. Good Lord. I am leaving the land at all. Trinidad too nice. Trinidad too sweet. All we have to do is take back the way. That's all. Let's surrender the children. Listen to what they're listening to, and you will realize how good it is. Yeah, man. People that come to land from all over, and when they leave, short to say, we are the friendliest ever. Say what you want. There is something I believe. Together if we aspire one day, together we will achieve. Only the way people want to know. What is this secret world in you? Listen, so much different races, creed and color. No one is correct, I was telling them. The men say that everybody woman sweeter than sugar. Trinidad is mine. Trinidad is yours too. Trinidad is treating visitors left. Like the one we are eating. Trinidad is mine. Trinidad is yours too. Trinidad is parliament for Christmas. We ancestors till the soil, plant the cane and drill the oil. If we have a picture from the way, so we are leaving to go with. But I am here. I am here. I want to show you my next go now. So I am leaving the land at all. I am here. I am here. I am leaving the ladies. I am leaving the land at all. Yes, sir. You're nice. So, sir, I am here. If you want to go, you can go. But I want to show that I have to do this. Listen, this is a female organization. That's a female organization. Is that female organization? So I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Let's go. So, you're happening. One thing artists like big money and loud applause. Now we don't have no big money today here, so here I am. Especially, you see how the ladies just give loud applause, gentlemen. In case today, the Surgeon General have discovered that, you see this? It has worked well for that. Maybe the prostate. So let us command the singing and dancing. Let the prostate get smaller by. Yes. So that is one nation the song. Because when the lady was giving the lyrics to me, she said, I love Trinidad with a passion. This is how they used to do nation for a long time. Chapter 1. Well, I already sing with me just now. Well, let better sing now. Otherwise, training camp. Trinidad is my land. And let me have it, have it. I want to know. You have to get back there and I never know. Yes, what is it? Trinidad and love it. But I can't understand why some people, but I live on like that. They know women. They know what they're talking about. They're attention. Like our sportsmen, being rated amongst the best. Ours, so let us sit and pass for the test. And put us right alongside the earth. And then our betrayal is the greatest one of its kind. But what sugar and oil is really fine. So the sequence, this is a rare thing. It must be enough in the music. They just talk some nonsense. Maybe we will be made for. But so much that man, it was swear that the time to me. We have really been tempted, but just like any other place, man, the team said us over here is really too much for me to bear, because my people are very native. It's already forward, and in this way we must be success. Yes, so when we move in, we are making the in between. It's not easy music, but it stands for return. So when our strangers tell me, every time in this lovely eye, every day you see me like she will have a happy smile. And when this time I come to the back, he will say, I'll be back. And if I can't come, I will tell you why. I will tell you, the only ones that to come, to bring some love and have plenty fun. In this great and lovely sun, yes, for Trinidad has fun. It doesn't matter whether big or small, or if you're rich or poor, and the kids are for one another. So I like them we're talking, if I got them for this steering man, or maybe they forgetting that I'm gonna go here in Trinidad. We have many talent and skill, and hello from the breathing still, and if you think God this is a lie, well so they tap people, they tell you why, because my stupid is the best talent to the world. But I would say our stories are true. We live on that could see the soul. Yes, for Trinidad, there's a lovely land of my bed, small but overwhelming. And as the top is the greatest organizer of the world. So let us and when the people who round of applause, good one for the lady. Beautiful. if it's so, this organization does relate. I want to see earlier Sunday and make that same kind of support, because the media will be there, the judges will be there, and the artists will give me the best performance. So come on. Thanks for the Fernando. And I think the organization have tickets, so you can check your organization. Now, I want to close off with a song. Some of the people know it. I know my good friends and them from Pakistan, they have it on pack. Now, I have a question, listening. Now, this side, you all remind me of the Marsh Grab. You all pay the money, you're very decent, so you is the grandstand. You see this side here? They can learn God. So this is the North Stand. I have a question. When I ask the question, all I want to hear, the North Stand say is, yeah boy, I need to start. You must say we are going to start. After 4, I go 1, 2, 4. I notice that Ms. Manning, you are really a Minister of Education. You have it working one team. Now this was what I noticed that. On the everyday. So you understand? And then when you still getting your food, and you understand and know what it's wrong. You understand? You ever notice at the end, you come inside a party, the most expensive dressers, the competitor always empty, you know say? They have this, you say? I look on your text and limits. You ever notice these days, I use my helicopter, they say this hard dashing this, I tell you, you very market, you push hard. You pay big money, and let them use of this. I want to do this, you use progress, the pasture, so what happening? Give me a ride, give me a flat, and then you come on, damage area secret. Please, I want to see 100. I want to see 100, and damage area secret. And the pinky, bring up. Ladies, this one is for the ladies. The ever latest Sunday, when you're cooking the crazy fish, that is the waiting time, that is the after the waiting for this to before. And we just start. If you have some time I'm here, you ever notice that when someone come politician, they tell them, hey, or tell you that you don't try to resolve. But we don't have anybody like that here. Right? Yeah, boy. Yes, I will take a lot from you. One more time. Hand up in the air. Top! I have to finish the paternity. I have to finish. Hand up in the air. Clean up. I love you. You ever notice that when Christmas comes along, people that you don't know, that come to the country once before. All these fish people are dead. You ever notice that when some people eating in Hilton, the creative show of the day, like you normally have to follow it. They have a baby bag, and the children are for some children, so this morning we have to read this show in this person here. Give me a rag, give me a flag, hand up in the air. Clean up. Let me keep this down. The show we were here, that's it. The show, get the winner. But when they say don't start everything, see it up. Yes, you look at the channel here. Now, fellas, I'm not still over anywhere. But women, the other notice that word, that is not really the meaning. They always put in it down. But don't let them know what you see, see it up. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been a beautiful audience. I want to thank Angela for inviting me. And all you guys people, so respecting your age, if you want to know it, then you're not in the age, but anyway, I love you all. I'll see you next time around. Stay blessed. Go! Last commander.
Commander, we present you with this token of your appreciation for the songs you gave us. You will enjoy it.
Yeah, boy. I noticed that.
Papa, you. Wow. Okay, I think we need a breather. Okay, I think we need a breather. You know that could be a useful tap anthem. I noticed that. I wonder when that will stop now. Okay, very entertaining, very lively, and it's nice to see so many hands waving to and fro. So that means all could lift up chairs. Very good. And Mrs. Manning was so correct. Men are under stress. Transporting the chair from here to there, I want a man. Taking the chair back from day to day, I want a man. I noticed that. All right, well, let's behave now. Behave. Okay, just want to talk for a few minutes on safety awareness. Some of you might wonder, who is he? What gave him the authority to talk on that? Well, I'm a martial arts instructor. I'm also a self-defense instructor. And I've taught police officers and teachers and prison officers for years in the UK on this subject called conflict management. In fact, safety awareness is mandatory in the UK for teachers, police officers, all those frontline persons. So we should be no different here, but you know, I really think particularly teachers need to be educated on safety awareness, particularly in this present climate. But for now, let's just think about our own personal safety awareness. This young lady was walking towards her car and she was attacked by someone and she was robbed. Her statement to the police was, "Someone came out of nowhere and attacked me." But that is not the full story. She did not see the person. So one of the main factors in awareness is about observation. And in terms of observation, we got two sides. The visual side and the blind side. So where do you think we should pay more attention to? The blind side. So it seems as though that person was adopting what we call blinkered vision, just looking straight ahead and not realizing that what was going on behind her. So there's a new term now called 360 degrees awareness. And so what that means, as much as we are looking towards the front and be visually aware of what is going on, we need to ever so often look around to see what's on our left or right or what is behind us. Having worked in the prisons in the UK, I realized that criminals have their own specialities. And the one that is related to you is that there are certain criminals who specialize in grabbing ladies' handbags. And as I walk around the street and so on, there are so many handbags that are unzipped. "360 degrees awareness would mean checking on your personal stuff every few minutes, because sometimes you don't know when your handbag disappears. Why it's so easy for one to steal your watch from your hand and you don't know, you're not aware of it. Those persons are very skilled, so you need to check on your personal belongings. I always, tell my students, especially the women, that when you're going out, you wrap a $20 bill in some sort of tissue paper and stick it in your bra. So that in the event, the unlikely event that you lose your money, at least you could find your way home. Because these days, you have people coming up with all sorts of story. I want $5 to go home. I want to buy a chicken and chip. And we hear those stories so much that this poor lady could be in distress, asking for money to go home. And we think that she is an imposter. Okay? So those things are very important. When we talk about vulnerability, there are two groups of persons that are considered vulnerable: young children and adults. Okay? And particularly adult women. So we would need to be very careful at how we maneuver and manage our movement from time to time. What about the fear? Afraid to go out because of possible criminal activity towards us. So fear could have a criminal or a terrifying or crippling effect on our movements. Okay? we need to get on with our daily lives, so we need to do what we need to do, but bearing in mind that we are able to observe our environment, and most times from a distance. So if you're going towards your car in the car park, and this is a very safe place, you know, get to your car and then you're looking for your keys. Too late, too late. Select my keys from here. So when I go out there, I just get into my car. And I would suggest, because organized crime is what is petrifying us these days. And organized crime would mean that someone she just commit a crime. Somebody left their any owner, I hope it have money in it and nobody else has.
Whack boy.
You're welcome.
Whack them, Kenny.
Yeah, safety awareness for us elder folks are very important. How you deal with cutting up your vegetables at home. It wouldn't be too nice if you should cut your hand, you go to the hospital only to realize that you're diabetic. So we need to slow down, cautiously cut your vegetables. What I find interesting as well is having a new pair of glasses and walking in the house is okay, but walking out the street, and for some reason the ground is either higher or lower. Isn't that a TV program? Higher, 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 lower, lower. And that could lead into a fall. And we know that falls among elderly persons have serious consequences in terms of fractured hip. So hip replacement and hip repair is quite a common thing, well, more so in the UK, especially in the winter when people slip on the ice. So we need to take extra caution when we are walking the streets. And you know, in Trinidad, this type of pavement we have here, I feel they do it for spite. It seems as though it's designed to trip you, and then somebody come and grab your handbag. And large holes, manholes on the pavement. So you have to be so careful, so careful. And I see some of you cross the road and then look to see whether the car coming. You step onto the pavement, cross the road. Some of you don't even look back. Remember, we need to slow down. We're not as bright and sprightly as the young people. Because if a car comes rushing past, by the time you decide to jump back onto the pavement, it's too late. So always remember, like we learn in school, look up, look down, look up, look down, look up, look down. Never in a hurry. No, it's very, very important. Our personal safety or safety awareness also involves how we prepare our foods how we handle our foods, because particularly with elderly persons, it's easy for us to get a diarrhea or gastric infection. So, you know the drill. The other thing is that when you walk in the street, and it's the street that you know, High Street, Frederick Street, and what have you, and you notice a group of persons on the street, it's important to take the long way around, because passing through that crowd, you never know what could happen. It could be a setup. We have some persons on the high street. So, madam, could I talk to you for a minute? Bye, I'm busy. Because while you are distracted talking to this person, somebody is interfering with your property. If you don't know the person, don't stop. If they say, I'm getting a heart attack, tell them call the police. Don't stop. You never know. It might be genuine, but in the interest of your own personal safety, you need to carry on your journey. But that's the theoretical bit. Where's Herbert? Or is Herbert around? A tall gentleman as tall as me? Don't tell me I'm the tallest. Of course. Herbert.
Former male nurse. Ask for the male nurse.
The male nurse?
See what I tell you? Look here.
Could I have your assistance, Herbert? Knowing what to do and engaging your observation is one thing. But safety implication goes a little further than that in terms of physical confrontation. Just want you to be my assistant. You're taller than me, yes? You have anybody shorter than you? Okay. There are certain behaviors that could trigger an attack on your person. And one of the main triggers is what we call eyeballing, looking at someone in their eyes. It's very confrontational and threatening. And that is why lots of sportsmen, say boxing, sometimes the boxing could be decided, the winner could be decided before the match starts in terms of the steering. The eye is very powerful. So that if you need to look at someone and you sense that some sort of conflict is building up, it's important that you do not look at them in their eyes if you are not a trained person. So there is a triangle from the forehead, right and left shoulder that you look. In that way, you're able to be aware of the person's hand movements and their legs. And it's less confrontational. The next thing you want to do is to stand at a distance outside the reach of the person's arm. And that is one thing. What about the leg? The leg would extend further. So twice that distance. Very important. So if they lunge at you, you could defend yourself or avoid. The next thing you want to do is, the vision is quite confrontational, is one thing, but the way you stand and the way you remain and what you're doing, you're exposing your vulnerable organs to that person. So what you do, you need to, and when you look at it, this is a huge target, of course. So what you need to do is to narrow or reduce that target by standing sideways. It has safety implication because if the person should push you back, you could easily fall. A simple push, you fall, you hit your head, concussion stepping, and anything could happen. Because you don't have much balance. But if the persons, if you're in this position and they push you back, it's very difficult to fall. Because at least you could brace yourself as you're going back. The other thing that is important is that in avoiding the conflict situation, when you're side on, you could easily shift back without creating any serious awareness. Whereby if you're in this way and you're stepping back like this, you could step under a stone or something and you could fall. So these little technical things make a lot of difference. The other thing you would want to do in your own safety is by stretching your hands, which is an extension of your body. Okay? So that gives you an opportunity to keep that distance safe. I mean, personal awareness is not a one-off talk. You know, this is just an introduction. But if you all are interested in safety awareness over a period of time, well then we could look at developing a course around that. Any questions? All right, there's one thing before I go, and that is, oh God, I got dead. There's only one attack to the human body that could really make a difference whether you live or die, and that is choking. Whether they grab your hand or your garment or what have you, consider that a bonus. Choking is the most dangerous attack because with successful choking, you've got a minimum of 3 minutes to survive. And after that, because the brain is not receiving its full supply of oxygen and nutrients, the brain starts to die. As the brain starts to die, you become unconscious, and then you're a helpless victim. So I'm just going to show you one technique to avoid choking. And the most obvious position for choking is the person coming up from the back behind you and choking you. Okay? So, what you would do is come sideways behind. Put your hip towards here. Right. And get one. Now, that this is a good opportunity for you to choke me. I believe okay.
Volume.
First thing you would do is don't panic. Yeah, don't panic.
No matter what.
The next thing is a life-threatening situation. The next thing you want to do is to protect your airway, because the minute the air is diminished, then you get scared and bad matters get worse. So in order to protect your airway, you turn your head to one side. And when you turn your head to one side, these neck muscles come across and give you that measure of protection, so you could breathe. And the next thing you want to do is to try to get away. But in order to get away, you need to continue protecting your airway. So this bar that comes across here from the attacker's hand, you get your fingers, 4 fingers into there and pull down so you could breathe. And that gives you, I mean, you could stay there for hours and shouting for help. Yeah. And the next thing you want to do is to get away. So what do you want? The hand that is on the elbow side, slip to the elbows, and you turn into the aggressor like that. Thank you. Don't try that on your husband. Okay, any questions about safety awareness? Very important, very serious. This is my main talk about what's your purpose. What's your purpose for your own safety, your own personal safety? And as soon as you leave the house every day, you think about a safety plan. If so-and-so happen, what are you going to do? It's very important. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan. Now, I know we're running our full time normally. Now remember, our meetings are from 10 to 1. Just reminding, especially for new members, when you come out of the house, people are so go home all day. You come out, you come out. Come out, enjoy when you come out, okay? Right, so just reminding as we continue. Now we had some committees that we formed, about 15 of them. We were asking that members participate more in our group. We sent out the committee folders, people put their names down, thank you very much. If you haven't put your name down yet, there's always room. I want to talk about 3 committees. I'll talk about the community outreach first, then we'll have data skills committee, and then we'll have education. Now, community outreach committee was formed because we say we are giving back to the community. Purple Diamonds would like to do something for our community. So we have that community formed. One of the first things, and that was sort of a pet thing of mine that I noticed, we've been here almost 2 years. We are next door to the primary school. I see them playing sometimes when we're leaving, but we never really connect with them. And I say, I wonder what's going on there. Do they need some assistance there? I said, okay. We asked the principal. She came. She first brought her some physical things, roof, etc. We said, no, we need to do something that we could do as a group. We said, okay, we'll meet with her. So the coordinator, Dr. Leonard Daly, myself, and a couple others, we went to see the principal. And believe me, at the end of the evening at home, I couldn't sleep so well.
I know.
The amount of issues that school has, it's heart-rending. Okay? It's about part about the community that they are in, whose parents are in jail, whose parents are simply not taking of them, who's not going to school, 5, 6-year-olds not coming to school. It's a whole series of things that are happening in that school. And I'm saying this to really get members involved. Yes, they get donations, they get bags and books and whatnot. So they get the physical things. But things that they need, things that really that they want to help the kids, they're struggling to do that. Little things like what extracurricular activities, co-curricular activities, because they can't stay after school. Okay? Things that we can do on our lunchtime. Things that we can do with the infants, whether we read with them, we come and we do little class, different activities, whatever the activities, football, drama, whatever. things that we can do with them. Okay, it's a small school, it's a small staff, but you said the problems are immense across there. So they really, really do need our help. Okay, the catchment area is here, but as the principal and others have said it, they're better off from Pleasantville send their kids to St. Gabriel, St. this. So the ones who are here are the ones whom we seldom see. Okay, there's a little community in Pleasantville, and most of us know about it, that people are struggling to survive. Okay, and those are the children who go to the school, so sometimes they don't have a meal when they go home in the evening. It's all kinds of issues that they have. Right? So we really need, so when we say we're going to start at Pleasantville, we really appealing not just to former teachers, and we need people with any skill that you have. Okay, so we're going to talk about that some more. The coordinator said she would like to meet with anybody, all those on the list, and all others who are interested, so we can talk about how we can help Pleasantville. It's a big, big thing. We can't do it all, but we start a little at a time. Okay? So that's just about the community. So we'll talk more about that. And of course, when we formed the committee, we said any other areas you recognize that we can give to as a group, as Purple Diamonds, that we can contribute to, then we are willing to get out there. Okay? Now I'm going to give you today to Skills, and she's going to tell you briefly about what her committee is doing. And then, as I said, education will talk about what they can do. But the other committees, they're working okay. We have refreshment, hospitality. So, I mean, yes, when you're ready, take the please. Right, we have refreshment, hospitality. We have things like tours, activities. Okay, we have publication, production. But we're working, and of course, we have social outreach. Social is for our members. If you know somebody who's ill, who is unable for some reason to attend meetings, who just needs a kind word, a call or something, let us know about those persons.
Today I'm going to update you on our Basic Skills Bank, which I had spoken about last month. So this morning we distributed the forms. Each person should have had a form. We are asking you to fill it. Take a little time after the meeting comes to an end and fill it in. If you need to take it away, to fill it at your own time, you are free to do so. But please return the form so that we can develop our skills bank, see where we can assist you. As Mrs. Manning intimated, it is never too late to become the person you have always wanted to be. So you may want to learn something new, put it down, and then we will see what we can do to fulfill your dreams, to make your dreams come true. So just fill out the forms and leave it at the table on your way out. Thank you.
I'm supposed to lead with the Education Committee. So at this point, I would invite persons to submit their list of topics. Thank you. Any other list? One person. Remember, I asked you all to submit. It's no good that we or the heads of the committee just choose a list and impose it on you. I thought that, in terms of inclusivity, we would get your thoughts and put them together and form a master list. Anybody else? What sort of topics you will be interested in? What sort of information you would like to have? All right, let me give you an idea here. Investments, bank investments. Someone to come and talk to us about that. Legal, will, kitchen gardening. And as I say kitchen gardening, I remember natural foods. Someone talked about follow-up lectures to health and wellness, always important. NIB, retirement and sickness. That should be important as well. Management of stress. Men.
You went to the washroom.
Healthy cooking. Alternative medicine. Fashion. Yeah, fashion. All you need to know anything more about fashion. All you got to go with that. Preserves. How to do preserves. Safety for the aged, home and the street. There you are. Social media. Is this how to access information or? All right. How to get your information on social media? Yes. And as we say that, and Mrs. Manning did allude to it, a lot of us live alone. And when you answer the phone, the way you communicate with a stranger, they would get an indicator that you live alone. And some of you have set up your voicemail and so on, and you have a female voice on the voicemail. I am not at home at the moment, please leave a message. Maybe you want to change that around to a male voice. So these are simple things that we could look at. So there's a list of 12. And remember, it's ongoing, so anyone that, any ideas you have, please let us know. If not, we may need to choose your topics for you. But I'm sure you're always accepting of the topics we choose anyway. Okay, thank you.
Okay, housekeeping time. Okay, so bear with me. Before I start, you're going to be getting your refreshments because I'll talk while you're being refreshed. So you're going to get your refreshments while you're sitting down. We have a little problem that I know with family of purple diamonds is not a problem. On average, we have 220 persons. So when we cater for 250. But for some reason, Mrs. Manning, no doubt you're part of the reason. Thank the Lord, going, we have a 290, I was told. I don't know where you people sitting now. Okay? So we have a lot of people here. So in a sense, we kind of under-cater. But the family of Purple Diamonds, when you get your stuff, you can always share with others. And I know the men will allow the ladies to get even if they don't get. I know you're under stress. Thank you, yeah, me. Some housekeeping. For new members particularly, we have our groups. Mondays, right here we have line dancing, 9:30 to 11:30, $25 a session. I think we have about 40 members, so we could hold some more. So Mondays, line dance here at Pleasantville. Monday lunchtime, I heard about social media. The manager of Pleasantville, she conducts a social media class. I think it's about $30, Monday lunchtime. She's also going to do computer when that is finished. So get ready if you want those classes, please. Tuesdays, we have Tai Chi. Okay, on Tuesdays we have Tai Chi. Again, it's at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday. We have Spanish for the next couple of weeks. We're not sure what's going to happen with Spanish after that, Tuesday afternoon, because not enough persons have come out this session. So we have to look at that again and see. But we have conversation, introductory Spanish on a Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday, we have dance by Eugene Joseph. Now it's a special dance. It's pain, what is called movement therapy. So he uses dance as therapy, and it's very interesting. All the people who join this session, you know we've been doing the ballet and the everything. He uses all the different forms, and it's very, very interesting. Of course, soca dance and everything. It's a very, very interesting class. So that's on Wednesday. So if you want to join, come down by Eugene for 10 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. Jewelry. Wednesday afternoon, we have jewelry at 1 o'clock. They have some samples there, so when we finish, you can look at what they've been doing so far. So we have jewelry on a Wednesday. And of course, we'll look at other classes as we go along. The point is, we are giving our members things to do. Now, you can choose to sit at home and do nothing, or you can choose to occupy yourselves, your body, your brain, etc., and be out there. And of course, when you come here, I appeal to members, make a friend. Don't just sit next to the same person all the time, talk to the same person you already know. Before you leave, meet 2 or 3 people and look at them, watch their faces, so next time you could recognize them. Make a friend. Okay. February is going to be a very, we're going to have to touch your pockets a bit. We have curriculum on Friday 14, they say Valentine's Day. It wasn't chosen for that. It was chosen as a fundraiser. Curriculum tickets are across there. Purchase your tickets. Vegetable, duck, goat, and chicken. So you can get your choice. Kaiser Showcase Sunday. You just heard Rastamanda. Let's go down and hear some more on Sunday. Tickets are also there. Get your tickets. Link up with somebody. You know, I want to get it for 150. You go in? Okay, I go in. Let's get this ticket for 150. So if I pay 100 because I don't want to chat with somebody else. TAP head office is having a line in Port of Spain. Now, that is $200. It's there all inclusive, so to speak. $200. If you want, and you put your name down, I can organize a maxi. But you have to let me know. So if you want to go to the TAP line, put your name down, and we will organize, with your phone number, and I'll organize the maxi to go up. Okay? But it's up to you. Okay. Right, there's a rise in subscription. Right, I was just reminded of a very important issue. As you all know, things have gone up. And let me explain again for the benefit of the new members. When you pay your subscription, that caters for your tea table, it caters for the snacks, it caters for the water, it caters for when we have birthday, because at birthdays we give tokens to everyone who's been here for a year. All of them get birthday tokens. Okay? We had our lovely Christmas luncheon, then we had all these Kenny J, etc. We had to pay for those. So we spent the money that we raised back on you. So we say that we've been paying $20 for a while now, and we would like to increase it to $25. Any objections, raise your hand. Okay. So we'd like to increase it from March to $25 to cover costs. Okay. Thank you so much for supporting the effort. Oh, and as usual, we have certain persons who don't pay. There are persons of a certain age that we say, okay, if you reach that point, and it gets 85, you don't have to pay. Okay, so get to 85 and then talk about how you're not paying. Right? The things we have, and I will need members to support this later on in the year, we want to have an April song, dance, an afternoon of song, dance, music, drama. It has to be a Diamond's concert. So we will want people on the committee to plan, and of course we have to sell tickets. So we'll talk about that some more. And then in May, now we're going to St. Lucia at the end of this month. Praying God will take care of us and there will be no shutdown of airports, etc. Right? So we're going to St. Lucia for the Carnival weekend from Friday to Ash Wednesday. Okay? But we said we know a lot of Carnival people weren't able to go. So the next trip is in May, Panama or Curacao. People who have spoken to me are leaning more towards Panama. So apparently we may be going to Panama, right? So I will explore the course and let you know what's happening with that. So hold that money close. Hello? Keep your money close, because if we go to Crystal Tours and they say, okay, Panama, 5 days, 4 nights or whatever, it will cost you 7,000, you have to pay right away. Because if you wait 2 days later, airline fee going up, fare jump up, you're going to pay. Okay? So have your money close if you're interested. Okay, thank you so much.
The new persons, we would now like to introduce you individually. So could you please stand? The new persons, and you will get the opportunity to give your name, what you do, where you live, and what you hope to benefit from joining TAP.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Christine Ajimuri. I am a retired nurse as of this month, and I joined TAP this year, and I would love to socialize in this group.
Thank you so much. Come on, more claps, more claps.
I am Sharon Cortez. I've joined TAP, and I more than love to socialize because I love myself, I love people, but I think about myself in the sense that, you know, all your life you're slaving towards people. Now I come first.
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Joey Wilson. I've retired a few years now, but I joined TAP but have not attended any meeting, so I decided to come and join because I have friends who keep saying to come. So that's how I have joined.
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Suan from San Fernando. I am newly retired as from a loans officer at a credit union. And my cousin here introduced me to TAP, and can't wait to join the excitement.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Bernadette Harrison. I joined TAP about a year and a half now, but my sister-in-law here encouraged me to come into the meeting.
Thank you, thank you.
Good afternoon, good morning everybody. I'm Karen Hall, retired. I joined TAP because with my friends here, and they talk about all the beautiful things they have done in TAP, and I met up Brenda the other day, and that's why I'm here.
Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Vicky Thomas. I am a retired teacher, and I joined TAP because of the encouragement of my friend, Lorraine, who has been telling me, come join, TAP, a lot of things to do, a lot of activities and whatnot. You know, so I was really excited by that, and I look forward to all the things that will happen. Thanks very much.
Thank you, thank you.
My name is Vanessa McCain.
and I'm grateful to be a part of this program here today. Now, at one time I went to join it, but I did not have the right age. But today I have the right age. And I give God the glory for that. Now I'm retired, but I love the Lord. My life is in Christ, and I know this is a plan that God has for me, and I say thank you. Also know me, also encourage me, and I say thank you. That's my purpose for being here.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gail John. I'm a retired business assistant. I was invited by all my colleagues. Everybody saying, come and join us. So I'm here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Good morning, ladies. My name is Vitra Imambad. And gentlemen, sorry, Mr. Ryan. I am a retired banker. I am from Gulfview. I was encouraged very animatedly by my neighbor Anne, who's next to me, to join this group. My purpose for joining is I understand you all have so much fun. So I want to have fun. That's it.
Thank you, thank you.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carolyn Ramlagan, but I will prefer everybody say Gemma. And I am very happy to be here. I was invited here by my two friends here. They have been in my blood all the time, come, and I finally came, and I am happy because now I'm seeing my two cousins there too.
Very nice, very nice.
So I am more excited, and my friend here, a neighbor from Gascoro, and I am very happy to be here this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Sheila Jones. I'm a retired food service, and I'm very glad to be here with the senior citizens, as they will say. I'm too old for many things, but I'm too young to die. So I'm really enjoying coming to the senior citizens.
Thank you, thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure my name is Jean Jones, and I was invited by my sister, and I'm happy to be here this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Well done.
Good afternoon. I am Patricia Harris. I am a retiree. I'm glad to be here. To some friends that are here and invited me to come here. And it's so excited to see what is going on here, and I love it.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Edwin Francois. I work at Flipdeco for visas. So I'm still working, I'm not a retiree yet, but I do intend to enjoy myself anyhow. You know, I was invited to come on this side by Karen Francis. So I just want to come and mingle and have a good time myself because I know. So I pray that God continue to bless this group and bless TAP on the whole. So I intend to have a good time.
Thank you, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Margarita Durgadine. I am a retired teacher. I have actually retired 3 years now, and many of my friends who are here for the last 3 years have been encouraging me to come. It's so much fun. I am missing out. And by the grace of God, I'm eventually here today after 3 years. Hi, Clifton. So I am very much looking forward to all the fun that I've been hearing about, the line dancing and the travel, both here and abroad. So I look forward to meeting everyone. Hi.
Thank you so much. Somebody just Nobody else, right? The line, I was told to give some more information on the TAP line. Now it's in Long Circular Road, the police mess, that's what they call it. It starts at 2, it goes up to midnight, but the eats and drinks stop at 7. Now if we are going as a group, we could arrange when we come back down. So if we go up early, we could come back down at 7, depends on the members when you want to come back down. Okay? So I hope that information is what persons were asking about. So it starts at, it's $200. It starts at 2. And that doesn't include transport, $200.
How many persons went to San Fernando Government School? Put your hands up. Well, my source told me that Mrs. Hazel Manning also went to San Fernando Government School.
And Patrick.
So you were in good company then. I wish to offer a paid vacation to anyone, one person within this group. The vacation is over a period of 60 seconds. And in order to win that vacation trip, you need to tell me what you're going to do on that vacation. You don't have to rush, take your time. Fully paid vacation for 60 seconds. I told you I'd like to go about. Well, I'm disappointed. I'm taking back the money.
Okay, I'm seeing some low, some vicious miracle happening, but still, nevertheless, we have a few people who didn't get. We apologize. Next time we'll make sure that we have, of course, you better come to the next time because we're going to be ordering for you too, so we don't have excess, okay? But thank you all for understanding. And I know especially the men understood best. Thank you. So as you do that, before we continue, we just want to say a quick prayer because before I hand back to the Vice Chair, I know some of you have started eating already, but no problem. Let's do a quick prayer. Quiet, please. Hello. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this meeting. Father God, we thank you that we have come here, that we're able to come here with health and strength to enjoy each other's company, to enjoy what you have placed here for us to enjoy. Father, we thank you for our guests this morning, Mrs. Hazel Manning, last commander, all the persons who participated, all our members who in various ways give of themselves, the general membership and the executive. We ask you to continue to give us that strength and that joy to continue to give of ourselves. We ask you to show us the purpose that we know you have for us so that we can fulfill your will that you've put us here to do, and at the same time to enjoy all that life, all that you've given for us, all that you've offered to us. Father, we thank you for your many, many blessings. We thank you for your blessings to come. We thank you for being with us when we had challenges, and we know you will continue to be with us. When we finish here, you will take us home safely to our homes. All of this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Now, that doesn't mean you get up and leave. I have to say it because you did. Remember, you're socializing, you have your forms, your curricula, your etc. to fill out. Jerseys, if you brought in your jerseys with the logo. New members, you bring in your jersey, not that one. stand up a minute so I can show them how it's not that hard. Just stand up a minute and help me out. What happens is that lab ray has purple with white trim. So don't go buying that. Buy a plain purple jersey. And when you bring it in for $15, you take it to the jersey people, you label it, you make sure it's clean, take it to them, they will take it to get your logo, and then they bring it back to you. Plain purple polos. Sometimes when we have to go to official things, we have to wear the polo. So it's mandatory. You join Purple Diamonds, you get your purple jersey. Okay? And for those who don't understand the difference, I know people say, well, I'm a member of TAP. And I say, no, but are you a member of Purple Diamonds? When you join TAP, that's head office. TAP has 11 zones. We are Zone San Fernando. They have Labre, they have Arima, they have 11 zones. And each zone has a different color. Each zone they have their own, we all under the ambit of TAP, so we have to follow TAP's rules. But we tweak things a bit within the zones. Okay? So after you join TAP, then you choose a zone and you join the zone. Okay? So please appreciate that. Thank you.
Members of the community outreach committee, could you meet at the corner here, please, towards my left?
And the people who are going to St. Lucia, I send this out on the WhatsApp. Please don't leave before you meet with me. The person's traveling to St. Lucia. Don't leave before you meet with me, please. Thank you.
Men, could the gentlemen please meet me on the stage here, please, for 5 minutes? All the gentlemen, please. All the men, could we meet on the stage here, please? Okay, we've also got a jewelry display on my right at the corner there. Men, could I see the men for a few minutes, please? All the men. All the men in the audience, could I see for a few minutes?
Looking for men, boy.
And before you leave, could you help us stack the chairs together? Please.